Oh, welcome to Tuesday. Um, we're gonna go to Unit 12. Remember that Unit 13 is available, but that's for next week. So again, I'm posting a unit ahead, but we're doing Unit 12. That's the April 6th through 13th kind of unit here. Um, and this unit's going to be a little different than past units. Um, I'll just warn you, I get a little tired of this. I like a routine, and we're in a nice routine where we do a lab every Thursday and I talk every Tuesday, and we got this routine kind of going. But once I kind of get this routine going, I get kind of bored with the routine. And so I'm getting kind of bored with the routine. So that means we've got to shake it up a little bit. So this week, we're going to let you do some of the presentations and stuff there. We're covering specialized hardware. And so we're going to let you today research specialized hardware as part of your exercise and get a presentation ready. And then on Thursday, share the presentation with the class here. So today we'll prep for Thursday, and Thursday we'll do the presentation. And I know some of you, like online students, won't be able to be here, of course, on Thursday, and some of you others I know who won't be here. And so there'll be a way for you to share your presentation online. So we'll look at that also here. I'm just going to go over the material really quickly, and then we're going to jump in and look at the exercise and let you start picking out what hardware you want to do your presentation on. So I'm going to go into the readings here and just go to this chapter 13 stuff. So we've been talking about generic kind of hardware for computers, and we're going to try to look at specific stuff. Some of the stuff in this chapter is actually pretty good, but some of it, of course, is out of date. Computers are always changing, so that's pretty common here. So one of the things we just want to be aware of is that we design different computing systems for different environments in different places, and we now have lots of specialized computers everywhere there. If you just look through your house and how many processors you have there, even things like your microwave has a digital display and buttons on it and has a simple processor behind it there. I just look at my kitchen, my microwave, my stove has a basic processor in it. My dishwasher now has Bluetooth and talks to me. Same with my refrigerator. I can check its status. So even these devices here have specialized hardware. I have a little robot vacuum that drives around, navigates my house, and vacuums things. And again, all of those are very specialized processors for specialized things. So that's what we're kind of looking at, is that sort of stuff. So what type of processing is required? It's a little big here. What kind of memory and storage is required? So like my microwave doesn't really have any memory. I mean, the only memory it has is the time, because I know that because every time the power goes out, I have to reset the time. That's the only thing it has in its memory there. It doesn't have any, I can't program presets in it or anything like that. But like my vacuum, it memorizes my house. And so it builds up a map of my house that I can go on the app and see the map of its house and where it's vacuumed. So it has a fair amount of memory here. So real-time processing or not, how quick does it have to be? So I mean, my vacuum is driving around and hitting things, and so it needs a little faster processing than some other things that can have a little delay. Like my smart TV seems to be very slow. I'll hit the buttons and I'll wait. Seems like I don't have a very smart TV. Connectivity, is this device on Bluetooth? Is it connected with the cell phones? Is it connected? My brother is a is an outdoors person, and he has these cameras. I have these little trail cameras that take pictures of things, but he has trail cameras that when an animal like a deer walks by the camera, it takes a picture and then sends the picture to his phone there. So it has connectivity to to the cellular network for this. So things like power consumption, we're worried about, is this a battery powered thing? I know how long can it go before something happens? And then again, the physical environment. So the classic specialized architecture you have probably in your pocket, right, is your smartphone. This is amazing technology here. Here, the processor, the memory, and we keep updating this, just the camera in this. We have GPS. We have Bluetooth, we have cellular antennas in here. We have lots of stuff in these physical devices. So these are just amazing little devices. It's just interesting to look back at this. So like this is talking about the iPhone 13 from 2021 being running and what it could do there. And so again, we can look at that. So it has some advanced screens, advanced memory. Apple has been introducing a lot of neural network-like processors, getting more towards AI stuff. The assumption is that we'll be running AI on our phones or on our laptops rather than always having to connect to the OpenAI or on the internet somewhere. And so again, at some point, there's going to be a fair amount of AI running on our phones, and we need very fast processors and often specialized processors for that here. Just the device. So again, this is just kind of the schematics of what we have on these devices there. The display, the touch sensors, the memory, the SD, the RAM, what we call radios, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, cellular stuff, the cameras there, the sensors, like your whatever is doing your fingerprint or face recognition, all that stuff is here. So again, all that stuff is somewhat specialized here. They talk about some specialized computer systems here, particularly when you are doing gaming on it or advanced processing, advanced machine learning on a computer. You often need a GPU. And so they talk about some of the advanced GPUs that you might have in your computer system here. And again, I'm not going to go over this because a lot of this is 4 years old. And again, we have updated stuff. So we're going to have you research new versions of this stuff. As far as like corporate computing, warehouse scale computing, we have a lot of what we call rack-based systems out there. So rack-based servers here. I don't know if you're familiar with them. So this is a rack-based computing from Dell. This is a computer that'll go inside a rack, and it might have multiple computers built into it, or it might have one, depending on the computer here. So this one has multiple drives for one computer with a bunch of processors here. And again, these go into data centers like this, where you have a data center where these racks of computers, and then the computers just kind of plug in there to it. We've got a data center up by Rice Lake Road that you can rent space in and use with all of this equipment in it. So again, we got these rack-based systems. Again, they're showing these servers and how they're set up in the rack system. And again, we might be running web servers and that stuff. And again, nowadays we're running a lot of this on the cloud, but still there's a lot of places that are run actual rack systems here. So I know like the hospitals in town, they have certain requirements that they have to have off-site copies of all their data and all their systems. So if something goes wrong, they can switch over to a thing. So they rent space in in the data center in town. Well, in fact, the data center they have one close to the hospitals and one up just outside of town. So they're two separate locations. So if one of them, get an explosion hits one, they can switch over to the other there. And they don't necessarily want that in the cloud because they have security rules as far as medical information. So they need that on their own private servers, and they run this sort of network here. So again, I'm not going to go over too much more of this stuff. Just to have you do your own research. So what are we going to do today? So go to Unit 12, go down to the exercise, and under topics, click on the specialized hardware teams and topics sheet. I started putting down some hardware here. These are the hardware from last year. I added some new hardware at the bottom here. I'm really interested to see if there's hardware you're interested in that you want to find. Like here's an example I just added is this. Again, my brother is an outdoors person and he loves fishing. And so this is the Hummingbird depth or fish finder and depth finder and GPS unit. So you can look at some of these units. Some of them do like lateral or horizontal scanning for fish and stuff like that. There's robots. In my AI class, we talk about these humanoid robots. So I'd like some people to look at those stuff. So Figure is like one of the robot companies. There's at least a dozen robot companies out there that are making humanoid robots now to do different things and starting to sell them here. Some of this is outdated. So like here, this is saying Figure 1, but Figure is actually on to Figure 2, 0.2 now is their current model. So you can look at that. So again, figure out what you might be interested in, put your name up here. We want something you can try to get some information about here, or again, and feel free to add something here. It'd be nice to get some new stuff, but not too new. So like the Switch, the Nintendo Switch 2 was just announced a few weeks ago and is out, but we don't know anything. We don't know the processor or the memory. No one's been able to take a Switch apart, the Switch 2 apart. So we don't have enough information about a Switch 2 to really do a report on it. You could certainly do the Switch 1 because a fair amount is known about that here. So I'm hoping we can have everyone work on their own stuff. If two of you really want the same thing, we'll let you work on that same presentation. We'll just expect more details, but I think it's easier if everyone just picks their own topic here. So why don't you look through, start thinking of that, think of what other devices are you interested in? Like last year, one of the big things was the new Apple Vision Pro, system. So I want to hear about that. I have a little Fitbit. Do you have an Apple Watch or a Fitbit? You could research that. Again, I just put the Fitbit on there because that's what I have, but you can easily add the Apple Watch down at the bottom here. So, oh good, mine's going to do the Switch one. That's good. I don't have a Switch, but my son, who's an adult, promised that as soon as he gets his Switch 2, I get the Switch 1. He'll lend, well, I don't get it. He'll lend it to me so I can play Zelda. That's my summer plan. I just want the Switch 2 to come out early enough so that I can play Zelda by August. So once you figure out something to do, we then need you to research it. And so you need, for the exercise, you need to make a copy of the exercise, Unit 3 exercise here. And start filling this in, and you'll submit this. So who you are, and if there's two people on your team, what hardware, the description, pictures, cost, sources. What are you using for sources of information here? You can include the URL, or if you're using AI, use AI, but often AI will refer you to sources, so include that. And then try to figure out this stuff. And this will be the challenge. What operating system is it using? How many processors or cores, or what processors is it using? Can you find out how much RAM, how much storage? And so some of this you'll be able to find out, some of it you won't. There might be other specialized parts of this device. So like, for example, the Ford F-150 Lightning is the new electric pickup truck from Ford there. So you'll be able to find out some information from it, but some of it you won't necessarily, I don't think they tell you how much memory is in that. I think there's people have figured out what processor is in it, but I don't think they know what kind of memory it is there. So again, you can see last year it wasn't, at least, but last year it was it was newer than it is. So I bet people have taken it apart a little bit more, so they might know more about it here. So same with smartphones. Pick whatever smartphone you want here to do this. So okay, so yeah, and then make a copy of this exercise and start researching that. Okay, I'm going to pause this and let you work on that a little bit. So once you start filling out your research stuff and figure out what you want to do, then you want to get a presentation going here. You can use PowerPoint, Google Slides, Prezi, whatever. I don't Canva. I don't know what you want to use for presentation. Whatever you want there. You're going to want to shoot for a 5-minute presentation. So for some of you, that's going to be a long time. Years. We want to try to get as much information and share it, and maybe some stories and stuff. Try to figure out what you can use. For some of you, 5 minutes is going to go very fast there. And so shoot for about 5 minutes. We allow 5 to 10 minutes for your presentation here. And so on next Thursday, we'll do that. So what we'll do is on Thursday, hopefully we have all the presentation links up here. So like Nate has one here. So again, Nate would bring this up, come up here and talk about, do this presentation. And again, we're shooting for about 5 minutes for that. Now, if you're not here, can't be here, especially the online students, you can do a video presentation, so you can record the video of it. You can use Zoom and do a screen record on Zoom, or you can use a number of other ways of doing a video presentation for that. So let me know if you're going to do that. And then, so again, that's only for students, online students, or students who can't come to class on Thursday. So I know a couple, at least one other has talked to me. And so you'll have to do a video presentation of that. And so you'll share your video link in here along with your presentation. But most of you will just have a presentation link. And on Thursday, you'll just get up and share your presentation that way. Okay? I want to clarify what you have to submit for this. So for the exercise that you're working on now, you are doing this research sheet here. So you want to fill that out and you want to submit that under the exercise. So I added little instructions. You may not see it, is that for submission, for actually submit your copy of that research write-up. So that's not your presentation, that's just your little research page here that where your notes and your information and your sources and stuff like that. And again, you can fill this in however you want here. So that's just your research notes. So that goes in under the class exercise. And then for the presentation, we'll do that on Friday instead of the lab here. And again, we want you to do two things. We want to have you put a link here for your presentation and also submit a copy of it. So submit either the link, the easiest way is just to submit a link, post it here, and also submit it here for that stuff. And again, I will grade that presentation when you give it there, and then if you're an online student, we'll grade your video one. Sound good? All right.